Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be doing the early stages of the Dragon Quest Die Vision World. We're going to be doing all five, is it five or six? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all six, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can't count. We're going to be doing all five of the first bosses, and then we're going to be doing Hadlar in a different video. Now in this one, I'm going to be basically just overpowering all the stages. We're going to be turn 1, OTKing everything. That's the plan at least. It might not work. So just so you know, for all these early bosses, the damage requirement is 1,030,788,000, or approximately 1.5 or 1.05 billion to be, approximate. Anyway, they're all stone enemies, and some of them are like stone beast, etc. This one I think is pure stone, weak to light. We're going to be going with this party and this general concept to OTK all the early stages. So the trickiest thing with my setup is actually doing it, doing the weakness damage score. So for all of these, the weakness damage, you've got to hit them 6 times with the proper element, and things like Limit Burst or things like Cart and Laura only count as a single hit. So because we're using the volatile ammunition on Laura, the Frenzy on Carton, the LB of Kaito, and the LB of Riser, this is only 4 hits. This only counts for 4 out of the 6 required weakness damages. So we're going to be using things like Rivera or our buffer to do the other ones. So Rivera is going to end the Limelight and then double Acoustic Echo to get the other 2 weakness hits. Roberta is going to Stone Killer, Spear in Peril, and then Mod Boost with Emissary of Demise. And we go ahead and chain the rest of these guys up, making sure to click Lara Croft first and our chain for the 90% defense break. And there we go. So we need 10.03 billion. We did 3.2. We overcapped it by 3 times. So yeah, so, a little bit of an overkill, a little bit of a heavy hitter on this party, but it is going to be all turn 1 stuff. That's the plan. If we don't get all turn 1, we'll have to adjust. So as you can see, Carton always carries. Kaito, this team didn't have an LB damage buffer, so therefore Kaito is doing less damage than usual. Golden Riser has his own built-in LB buff, so he's going to outdamage Kaito, believe it or not, on these clears, because we're not doing an LB buff. But that's fine. It gets it done. And then Lara Croft is basically a breaker chainer. She doesn't do damage if you don't power her up first. Not to mention her LB is the only damage. Anyway, you get the idea. Laura's a support unit here. So I'll show you the party. Just the basic gear. Just, the gear is nothing held back. So base form, here we go. So we've got 7,600 attack power, some killers versus stones, etc. Let's see, Carton is using a spear build with killers versus stones and that kind of stuff. 7,300 attack power. We're using Typhus card. Lara Croft is using a spear build, just, chaining damage basically, but she doesn't really deal damage. And then Riser is using a greatsword build. We are using the greatsword in peril from the card on, what's your girl's name? Roberta. There we go. So there's his setup. And then Rivera is just basically naked. And then Roberta is just using the Obsidian Bracer and the greatsword in peril card. Alright, let's pop over to another one. And this is going to be the same concept for all 5 of the bosses, so if that's all you really wanted to see, I guess you can, go to the next video at this point. So this is a magical fight weak to ice and fire, so we're going to go to an ice setup, and it's a beast and stone. He also does reflect. But anyway, we're going to use Frievia to do the ice support. Yeah, so we're basically just changing the elemental support unit per boss. Alright, let's see here. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to be doing the basically exact same thing. Roberta is going to Stone, Dragoon, and Emissary. Frievia is going to Quad. We're going to Ice support and then just hit the boss a few times for weakness damage. And once that finishes, we will do our proper chaining. So it is a magical fight, and I am using physical units here, so you might be like, wait a minute, this is a magical fight. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as your units are good, it don't really matter. We're using a 90% break, so it's fine. We need 1.03. We did... Oh! We almost didn't damage cap. Okay, so if you're struggling on this guy, definitely go with a mage team. Okay, okay. We did damage cap, but it was a lot closer that time. You know, our team is very strong, so there it is. Turn 1, perfect score. And again, after I have more time, it is day 1. I'm kind of rushing a little bit to get to the Hadlar fight. But, you know, I can, of course, go back to these and show you different versions. So if you're having trouble capping Sigma, let me know in the comments, and we'll come back to him after I've handled Hadlar. So this one is a Demon Stone weak to Lightning. So we're going to pop over to the Lightning team and do same concept. The big difference here is we're taking Riku instead to Lightning support. The Neovision's Riku. So, okay. Yeah, I really love this turn 1 OTK team because it's like it does a lot of damage. Alright, let's see here. Riku is going to end Thundara to imbue an amp, and then we're going to double Lightning Rod to imperil, as well as imperil and weakness damage score. Go ahead and chain it up. So this one is not a magical fight, so therefore it should be fine. Hopefully. Let's see what our damage does. Riser helping out here. Yeah, Riser is a pretty good turn one burster, to be honest, because he does the support chain. Didn't super overcap again, so we are getting to the point where our damage is a little rough. So maybe I definitely shouldn't. I do need to go back and do some more perfect score runs here. Okay. Carton's still hard carrying this. That's fine. Alright. Move on to the next one. I'm kind of hoping that I can turn 1 OTK all the way to the end, because if not, I'm going to have to like... Oh, hey, we can actually do Hadlar at this point. Well, we're going to keep going for the bosses for now, and we'll go to Hadlar in a different video. So this one is Pure Stone, weak to light. So we're going to go back to the light party with Rivera, and basically do the exact same thing we just did. Because it's a Pure Stone, and we are using a big Stone Killer from Roberta, this one should be a lot easier to perfect score, but we'll see. Just reload this, wait for all this to finish. Go ahead and pop it up. Yeah, the reason I like Golden Riser is because we're doing triple Bolting Strike with Laura, Carton, and Kaito, and then that's not quite enough chain score. There we go, 2.2, very easy. Riser is a tag chain, so therefore he can do some bursting LB on turn 1 without having to worry about matching someone's chains. So here we go. Carton's so good for turn 1 OTK, and you don't have to turn 1 OTK these like by any stretch of the imagination. If you can't turn 1 OTK them, definitely go to turn 2, go to turn 3, do your setup, and it'll be totally fine. So this is a wind guy, Pure Stone, weak to wind. So we're gonna pop over to a wind party with Bulwark. So this one's gonna be a little bit different, just because the weakness damage. Weakness damage, like I said, is the biggest headache here. We've got to hit him 6 times, and Bulwark cannot do that. So we're going to load this up. So Bulwark is going to only double cast. That's all you can do on turn 1. Tempest Tango for the wind support, and then we're going to Chocophony. That's only one of the 2 extra weakness damages we need. So therefore, Roberta is going to Stone Killer, Spear in Peril, and then just hit the boss for the 3rd hit. We're not going to do the Magnus for the mod boost. We can't fit it because we needed weakness damage. And here we go. So hopefully we can perfect score this guy. He is Block, the bulky tank-looking dude, so maybe he's bulkier. Let's find out. He is Pure Stone, though, which is easier to gear for. 1.9, not a problem. Yeah, so the problem was the earlier ones, they were dual race, and dual race means a little bit harder to gear for, so like Carton was, struggling a little bit. That's why the Sigma and stuff were harder. here we go. Carton, Big Carry, Kaito, and Riser doing his name. And don't judge Kaito too bad. He has no LB buff whatsoever. If we had an LB buff, he'd be doing a lot more damage. A lot more damage. Anyway, there's the perfect score on everything until Hadlar. Hadlar will be in his own video coming very shortly. See you guys in a few minutes.